Friday, September 19th. We're doing the show naked today, not clothing wise, but I have lost access to Seeking Alpha, not because they kicked me off. Once a year, I have to apply to get it back, to get my premium access back. Yes, I am an affiliate, so I get it absolutely free. But it reminds me, if I were not an affiliate, if I did not have this podcast, I'd absolutely pay for it. But we are going to do it for a little bit naked. So understand that as we go on. We're going to talk about FOMO. We're going to talk about markets are at an all-time high. All four indexes closed at a market high. IWM, small caps, I've gone over. We're going to go over the performance of these indexes from July 1st, 2022. Guess what date that was? That was when Alpha Pick started. So we're going to compare those. We're going to do a duh trade like Intel yesterday. I've got another one that we should have been in. That was way up. Another one where you're going to have to journal. If you didn't get into this stock, you will need to journal why you didn't get into this stock because all the signs were there. We'll go over Google. We will go over the NVIDIA and Intel deal. Do you want to invest in Intel? And then we'll go over some scans on stocks. So it's going to be a big day. Again, Seeking Alpha, going to be naked, but we'll do our best. So first thing I want to talk about is FOMO. Okay, because in this market, if you're not up in this market as much as the S&P is, okay, the S&P, we can go over here to Seeking Alpha and I can see, let's just do VOO because I think I can see year-to-date VOO in the free version. Yeah, you're up 13%. If your portfolio's not up 13%, should you feel bad? No. Should you throw in the towel? No. But you need to look at your portfolio and understand why you're not up 13% because VOO and chill is a real strategy. Same thing if you're tracking against the Qs. Year to date, the Qs are up 16%. If your portfolio is not up 16%, again, I try and track the Qs. But do you need to throw in the towel? No. Throw more money at the Qs, throw more monies into VOO and understand why you're not. Did you not take enough risk to meet your goal? Because if your goal is to beat the S&P, you have to take more risk. Is there too much risk in your portfolio that didn't work out? Meaning you said, oh, Gary's got 50% of his portfolio into Apple. I'm going to go 50% of my portfolio into Apple in January. And all of a sudden I'm down 5% on half of my position, half of my portfolio. Again, did it not work out? These are things you should be journaling. Conversely, if you are way up this year, say your portfolio's up 70%, understand your risk because that means you're taking advantage of the bull market, which is fantastic. But markets have a way of taking back big gains. There's always opportunity to lock in profits. And that's where managing the portfolio comes in handy. Never have FOMO of others. When you see these huge gains in portfolios, don't have FOMO. The great thing about managing your own portfolio is there's nobody to blame but yourself if there are mistakes. But also, there's nobody else that can take the credit when you do well. Learn from the mistakes, find repeatable trades, and win at this, okay? It's not that hard. Again, it's not hard. It just takes a lot of work. And speaking of Apple, I want to bring this up because today is Apple Day. Today, the iPhone 17 Air, you get your first time to walk into an Apple store and touch it and feel it. First time that you get to see the AirPods 3 Pro. First time you get to see the Ultra 3 and the new watches that they're coming out with. Apple is up 1% in the pre-market. Why? Because it's Apple Day. It's Apple Day. But is 240 gonna hold? Well, let's take a look at the actual stock chart. Because again, all you care about in this stock, you don't care about the PE. You don't care about, hey, they're projecting this amount in the future. What you care about is the price of the stock. And yesterday, we closed Let me see the closing. We closed at $237. It's trading 1% up at $240. We have identified that $240 as a potential resistance level. See it here in July 2024. See it here all the way through October and August. And then it popped up. Where did it hit high? In December, when everybody was buying it. Because everybody said, oh, Apple's got the AI, Apple Intelligence, boom, boom, boom. They were holding on to it. Nobody was selling it because everybody wanted to hold on to it until January. And then they sold off in January. Why? Because people didn't want to pay capital gains in 2024. That was the thesis on this one. So at 240, do you want to take some off the top? It's still expensive. Understand, it is still expensive. And I don't have access to the quant, but I have access to the PE, 32 times forward earnings. That's expensive. That is very expensive. Growth, 5% year over year revenue growth. Forward, they're expecting 4%. So again, it's an expensive stock. I am not selling this stock. I have trimmed it at 240. Yes, I've already done that. So I've got a good position in this. And yes, it's still a large portion of my portfolio, but I have journaled this. I am living with the mistakes that I've made. And this year, that was a mistake. But let's talk about the overall markets, because the overall markets, all four indexes, the Dow, the Nasdaq, the S&P, and the Russell IWM, they all closed at all-time highs. Why? Fed rate cuts, Intel Nvidia deal just pushes it. It's all about AI. It's all about lower rates. They all pushed to all-time highs. Now, specifically, I have been saying small caps get a bid with rate cuts. And here I posted this, but I'm going to look at it live, okay? IWM is the chart that you want to look at. Now, where are we? Well, let's take a look at a weekly chart. A weekly chart shows you that back here in November 2021, you hit 240. This isn't Apple. Yes, 240 is the same price. Just ironic. But you hit that 240. Now, during this time, the MACD was significantly lower. The RSI popped up here to 67. Okay? This is a weekly chart. Now, you're hitting the same price. This is a small cap index. Let me see if I can see the holdings in this from, let's see if we can see the holdings or if they lock it. No, they let us see the holdings. So IWM, top holding, Credo, which you should have in your portfolio. It's top 2025 stock, BlackRock cash funds, Bloom Energy. Okay, Bloom Energy is a top stock. IONQ is a top stock here. Fabrinet, again, these are high flyers. They are risky stocks. They are at their all-time highs. These aren't huge amounts. This is the number of holdings in this ETF, 1,971. So when you see Credo, BlackRock, Bloom, IONQ, they're less than 1% of this portfolio. So it's not like a Credo crash is going to pull this entire ETF down. Just understand that. But small caps outperform when rate cuts happen. And so I wanted to look at yesterday. I said, let me look at the Dow, S&P, Nasdaq, QQQ, and the Russell IWM. And I'm going to date it back to July 1st, 2022. And why did I pick July 1st, 2022? The reason is because that's when Alpha Picks, which is a small cap portfolio, it's not based on large caps. These are small cap stocks. Again, we saw Credo. That is an alpha pick. Is Bloom Energy? No. Is IONQ? No, because they don't fit the rules. Okay, but this is a small cap portfolio. Since July 1st, this is up 240%. Okay, let's just look at where we are. And what I did, remember, this is an old screenshot. So it goes until September 11th. Today is September 19th. I just don't have an updated screenshot right now. But let's look at how these indexes performed. And remember, in the back of your head, Alpha Picks is up 240%. IWM is up 45%. And this includes dividends. QQQ is the big winner. at 113%. FYI, 240% is double QQQ. VOO is up 80% during this time. That's the S&P 500. It includes dividends. DIA, which is the Dow, was up 56%. Okay? You're up almost 5 times the Dow with Alpha Picks. That's why I'm bullish on Alpha Picks. I have started to break out my Alpha Picks portfolio, okay? I did it for the first time yesterday. My Alpha Picks portfolio yesterday, remember, I am not 100% correlated to their holding percentage because I do trade the Alpha Picks. But my Alpha Picks portfolio yesterday was up 2.32%. If we go and look at IWM, it was up 2.49. So they outpaced me yesterday. But I would argue that just based on this chart of IWM, going back to November 1st, 2021, remember, the overall portfolio of IWM, Alpha Picks is beating it. So how do you get Alpha Picks? Well, you go over to Linktree. Okay, you can get it by itself. Or you can include Seeking Alpha Premium, which I should sign up for a free 7-day trial because right now I'm locked out. But I'll get it back. I suggest that you get the bundle. Why? Because again, you can do all the research, you can do everything that you want. I'm seeing what you get with free Seeking Alpha. It's not much. You get so much more when you actually sign up for this service. So I have no idea why people don't sign up for it, but it is what it is. Now, today's dud trade. We talked about Intel yesterday, how Intel was kind of the dud trade. You knew Trump was going to pump this one up. We'll talk about this again later. But the dud trade from yesterday was DPST. What is DPST? It's a triple leveraged ETF on regional banks. On regional banks, the holdings, again, 156 regional banks. That's the holdings. And yesterday, it was up 8%. That's the dumb moment. Do you want to invest in it? Well, when you go over here and you look at the chart, 4-hour algorithm makes you 117%. Buying and holding, which I would never suggest over the last 2 years, has gotten you 82%. This is a decaying asset. Understand, fees get taken out on a daily basis, so it's one you want to trade. But yesterday, we should have been in this one. It's a total duh trade. And another duh trade that I brought up, CrowdStrike. Okay, CrowdStrike, I said when it dipped under 400, and we will look at the actual chart here. But not only does the chart look good, but the stock. This is a stock, a company that shut down the world. Okay? I don't care what the valuation is. I don't care what it is. I want this in my portfolio. And when we got up there to 500, I had mentioned right before their earnings, I trimmed it at about 480. And I was looking to get back in. Now I bought some at 481. I bought more at 470. Small lots. This 420, when it dipped under 400 and bounced back up and it gave me that 420, I bought a lot more of it. Had you bought a lot more of this, you're up 20% now, somewhere in that neighborhood, close to it. So if you didn't buy this, and we'll go back to the first part, don't have FOMO. But if you didn't buy it, why? Because here's a strategy that makes you 259% versus 189%. It wins 57% of the time. This is the 4-hour algorithm. It is in TrendSpider. Go over to Linktree, the top link. Just investigate TrendSpider because it's $52 a month. Okay, this is an annual plan. You can try it out. When you get an annual plan, you get the 4-hour algorithm. But again, it's just strategies. It's just ways to look at the market. If you didn't get into this, journal why. Because when it sets itself up next time, and don't say, well, Gary told me to buy it at under 400. No, journal why you bought it. Was it in the 4-hour algorithm? Was it because it shut down the world? What's your price when you're going to sell it? When it gets back up here towards 517 again, I'm going to look at trimming some of this and I will pull it back until 517 becomes a support instead of resistance. Again, it's just a way. If this were a stock that I 100% thought 5 years from now that it was going to be significantly higher and outpace the market, then I would just buy it and hold it. But I would buy that small amount. And I do. I have that small amount. But I trade in and out of other amounts for this one because it's a winner. If we go down, okay, to $400 again, I'm not worried because I know $500 is in the stock. It's just a way. Remember, stock charts have memories. It's kind of like, your trauma when you were 5 years old and it sticks in your mind. That's a stock chart. So if you say, yeah, I'm triggered by somebody coming up to me with a pen because my father got in a fight with a waitress. Yeah, that might be a stock chart at a low. Well, that's when you buy. Who knows? But again, whatever your trauma is, I'm not trying to bring it up. And I'm not, anybody that's afraid of waitresses, I'm sorry if I triggered you. But CrowdStrike right there. You want to know what else I'm bullish on? Google. Google integrated Gemini in their AI Chrome. And yes, I have it. I'm here for it. It's in the upper right-hand corner. I can open up a Gemini in Chrome. Boom. I can open it up. This makes me like Chrome more than I like Perplexity. So again, they're taking on Perplexity. They're saying, hey, Google Gemini's better than Perplexity because Perplexity determines, okay, we're going to use this, this, and this. Google has the capability to take them on and beat them. And it's a stock that's trading at an all-time high. Again, all-time high. The 4-hour algorithm, it may look like a genius up here, up 46% just since June. Doesn't beat buy and hold. Doesn't beat buy and hold. But when you look at this, are you buying it here because it looks stretched? For me, let me miss out on this. Let me buy the Qs while I'm waiting for Google to pull back. 2 months from now, maybe we're back at 200. Maybe we're at 300. Maybe some of these indicators have pulled back a little bit and I can feel more comfortable, yes, buying it at a higher price. But right now, I don't want to take the chance. Again, risk, reward. Am I buying at an all-time high? All-time highs do lead to all-time highs. I just don't feel comfortable buying it there. And it's not anything that anybody can tell you that you should absolutely do. These are things, again, the risk is yours. The blame comes to you. The reward comes to you. But I like Google. It is one of my top 5 holdings. Now, we talked about stocks that benefit from rate cuts. Well, Rocket. Here we go. Mortgage rates edge down, refinancing applications tick up. What could you do? Which companies will benefit? Rocket Mortgage, Mr. Cooper, any one of those. Go and use an AI and say, what are the stocks that benefit with mortgage refinance? Rocket Mortgage, $19 right here. It's at $21. That's a pretty good gain. The indicators, the MACD, they're resetting. It's going sideways. Are we going to continue up? Well, on a weekly, you're a bit stretched, but I would say $28 is probably within this stock. Again, if the market continues, the interest rates start coming down on the 30-year mortgage. If we get down to 5%, guess anybody who bought over the last 2 years is going to refinance. So again, risk, reward, it makes sense. Now we talked about the duh trade with NVIDIA and Intel. I'm not a huge fan of Intel, and I don't exactly know what the hell they got out of this. I know what NVIDIA got out of this, but Shai makes it super simple to understand. There are plenty of deals still missing on timing, bandwidth and packaging, but NVIDIA just gave Intel a $5 billion lifeline and rewrote where CPUs sit in the AI stack. It is basically a direct competition to AMD. So again, if you want to read about the stocks, this is a great look at it. And if you don't think that the pump is real, I mean, here's the thing. if you think the Intel pump theory that I provided yesterday was crazy, where I said Trump spoke with Jensen and said, this Intel thing, I like Intel. And Jensen said, oh, we want to sell through the rest of the world. Oh, you do? Well, I like Intel. Trump posted this yesterday. This isn't a meme from someone. Trump posted this yesterday. Grifter 101. He's literally posting that he's trading Intel. So get in if you want the pump. I am not a fan of Intel. I think it's falsely brought up there, and the details are missing. I don't like this trade. I don't like to buy it here. I think this is a dying company. That is a stock chart that I don't want to invest in. Versus a stock chart like this. NVIDIA just got you in at 176. Okay, is it scary to buy at 176? Well, your all-time high is 181. I would say if you are looking for some type of support, it's probably 140. That was a significant resistance level. So again, I want to buy the stock that's moving upward, bottom left to upper right. I don't want Intel. As much as I would love to catch that bounce down, I don't know that this takes them out of the bounce down. And again, Grifter 101, government money is probably going to be propping up Intel for a very long time. I just don't see the path to profitability for them. And NVIDIA is actually in the talent war. NVIDIA is the one growing. They just hired a new executive. And again, this goes over how Meta, how Google, how Microsoft all have been in this talent war. And now NVIDIA looks to be spot on, right in the talent war. So I like NVIDIA. So let's use TrendSpider and let's go over some of the top stocks that have bullish entries in the 4-hour algorithm. Well, Coke. Do I want to invest in Coke? I have been very clear. I think you can buy Coke at 60 and sell it up near 70. So if you buy here at 66, it may take a year to get Coke back. But this is a stock that probably will trade in between 60 and 70. It's not one that's going to make you a ton of money. So in my mind, I'd rather own VOO than Coke. Just personally, I drink Coke, but I do own a bunch of Coke. But it's because I drink the soda. So it's not a big position. We just went over NVIDIA. That has an entry in the 4-hour algorithm. I just went over earlier how IWM holds Credo. This, you can see the buy signal right there. I got a buy signal from TrendSpider yesterday. It was a text. I'm sitting there in the afternoon. Ooh, I was at the gym. Buy Credo. Guess what? Logged on my app. I bought Credo. Yes, I bought it at an all-time high. I don't mind. Again, it's a top stock. Do I mind buying it up here? No. Momentum has a good way of bringing this higher. Okay? There is quite a lot. We talked about DPST. That has an entry in the 4-hour algorithm. We talked about CrowdStrike. Well, other cyber companies like Zscaler. This one's telling you it's got another leg up. 276, you're at 290. You've got 320 in this stock. Is this one going to go back up there? Again, from a weekly standpoint, maybe a little bit needs to be hold off, but I think you get back to that 367. So again, you've got to pick your stocks. There's also some low-cost ETFs. It can all be found in the newsletter, which is free. It is free. You can get it every day. I think it starts charging people 30 days. But who's reading 30-day-old newsletters anyway? You want to know what's going on now. Unless you want the September watch list or some education sections. Okay, I've got some sections up there that are readable. And I've got some more in the hopper that will be coming out. But again, I would tell you, get the tools that you need. TrendSpider, your charting program, get TrendSpider. My 4-hour algorithm comes with the annual plans. Okay? Then browse, if you want a 2-week trial, browse the TrendSpider store. See what you can do with this tool. See if it's something that you would use. Because if you don't use these tools, you ain't going to use my 4-hour algorithm. You may love the 4-hour algorithm. Then get the annual plan. I am 100% sure that it has helped Most people that have tried that out. And if it doesn't help them, it just means that they're not technical traders, that they don't believe in charts. I believe in charts. I also believe in fundamentals, and fundamentals matter. So get Alpha Picks, which gives you the top stocks. Again, the performance of Alpha Picks, phenomenal. Premium lets you find those stocks that you want to find. Again, your portfolio is your portfolio. You get the blame when it goes bad. You get the reward when it goes good. You just have to understand, where's my risk? Where's my reward? What are my goals? Am I looking to beat the S&P? Well, you're going to have to take some risk to beat the S&P. Are you looking to beat QQQ? You're going to have to take some risk to beat QQQ. You know, are you looking to beat a 4% bond? That's not hard. Not in this market. But in a downward trending market, that would be hard. So if you think we're going down, bonds right now are probably a pretty good buy for you. But again, it doesn't fit my profile. So you have to understand your own profile. So if you have any questions, you can hit me up. Everything's on Linktree, linktr.ee/daily stock pick. Okay? Everything's there. All the links are down below. Remember, if you listen to this far, hit the thumbs up. Rate me on Spotify. Do whatever you need to do to help me out. I'll talk to you Monday. See you. Bye.
Every morning I wake up to the sound of the trading bell. My heart starts to pound. Daily stock pick trading podcast in my ears, guiding me through my hopes and fears. Tune in daily, don't miss a single show. Sign up for the newsletter, let us help you grow. Taking risks, making moves, seeking success. Together we'll conquer, no room for any less. Every morning I wake up to the sound of the trading bell. My heart starts to pound. Daily stock pick trading podcast in my ears, guiding me through my hopes and fears.